somebody die?
It's just really mellow, right?
God, yeah.
That's and the funny thing is, I bet we get popped as well by YouTube, the YouTube police, because
always getting chinoed.
Well, it's not even that, because not everything Chino related gets popped. Which, by the way, and that's Polyphia.
I just heard of him today.
I'd heard them before. I didn't know they were from fucking Plano, Texas.
This was crazy. I think Drowning Pool originated out of Plano as well.
Yeah, I can see where a lot of rage could come out of that area, right?
I guess so, man. Apparently it is not the place where all come to live. Happily.
Polyphia dropped their shit yesterday, and they have nothing but guests all over this fucking thing.
And from some of the other stuff we heard, and who knows, maybe LJ will bring this up, little on the dubstep side in that last song we were listening to.
Oh, but a weird prog way to it as well, because they had Steve Vai laying down all these weird little,
it's
fingerboard taps.
It's like if dubstep had real instruments in it.
Yeah, it was weird, right? I mean, I couldn't place it. I fucking wouldn't spot dubstep in a lineup.
It was that weird, like, and then like the drums, like
a lot of prog shit is kind of in that same camp.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. To me, prog sounds very different than that.
The prog that we usually get. I mean, you get some of these bands that's like, what in the fuck are these people doing? And they're doing shit. It is almost obnoxious. I mean, Opeth is a perfect fucking example of that.
Yeah, they're self-aware that everybody really respected them for fucking being proper musicians. Now now we're going to do this 70s stuff, and I'm going to buy a whole lot of Korg synths. Shit.
Have they already moved on from the prog shit then, or?
It's just more 70s. Like it's like they're slowly going back to the sound of a 70s band. And then we were fucking. This was a band I thought was too heavy, and I didn't enjoy them.
Yeah.
Took me to go get in my 30s and get my rage in.
Well, yeah, but even then, you can't go to an Opeth show. They're not going to play anything off of Blackwater Park or anything.
I'm not sure about this, but if they don't, then that's completely fucked up.
They play the shit that they're playing now.
I mean,
I guess, like Devin Townsend in a way. Speaking of prog,
Devin Townsend, he did do that for a while. Like when Strapping on Loud was done, that dude would do nothing but his stuff. Because he's, it wasn't great. His life wasn't super great at the time. Finally, I think it took, when did Retinal Circus come out? 2000, let's see. I was smoking fake weed and making poor choices. 2012. Oh, God. I'm sorry. I thought the computer crashed.
Oh, well, because that's a very real possibility.
This one's going to have some problems for some reason. Old Bessie here.
From 2016. So, or 15 or 16, one of the two. So that tells you right away. 6-7-year-old laptop is fucking it goes beyond what the shelf life's expected anyway.
And a full-on wipe. Full-on wipe.
Yeah.
Would do it some good, but, man.
Some changes are going to have to be made eventually, and that's the thing is that the next thing I buy is going to have to be one that gets us through the next stage, because I already know I don't know what the next stage is, but I know what the stage after that is that I want to be.
Right. Yeah. And it's a good one. It's a good chapter.
Yeah. Apple is doing some shit nowadays because apparently they just recognize that they're fucking really expensive.
Yeah. Well, of course.
So they started some deal where you just rent it. Actually, lease it would be closer.
Ah, yes.
Where then you're just paying them, a monthly fee, for the use of their fucking equipment or whatever, like $100 a month and up.
Ooh.
Yeah, and eventually then you reach the period and you can either go ahead and pay it off for a couple $100 or say, fuck it, I'm done altogether, or give me a new laptop.
And yeah, because probably by then the next step up is going to be available.
That's their way of like, we're trying to get $100 out of you a month, and we know that a lot of you are dumb enough to do it.
You don't want to pay $1,000 for this right now? Okay, we'll make you pay $1,200 for it over the course of a year.
Yeah. I mean, Microsoft is catching me the same way. I have Microsoft Office, but I don't. I've got basically what they do now, which is I'm paying them $5 a month for office.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? No, but it is. And the fact that if it comes around and I need it for something, and all of a sudden then I gotta fucking jump back in, and I gotta go through all the Microsoft shit. It's easier to just pay them $5 a month. It's easier to pay them $60 a year and just be done with it.
Damn, I remember when they would give out Office for free.
Yeah. Well, you remember that, and then they got away from that, and then you started getting all the WordPerfect suite of shit.
Oh God, Corel WordPerfect.
Yeah.
Oh God, damn.
The terrible times.
Woo! Back in skew.
Yeah, every new fucking... I mean, because it did. Everything would come preloaded with the Microsoft shit after, 3.1, and then even up to like 95. But, man, Windows 98, you're getting Corel shit.
Yeah. I liked WordPerfect, too. It's what I wrote all my great high school theses on.
Yeah. Well, that's what I used on most of my shit on undergrad shit in college, but... Man, nobody else used it was the problem.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and back then it was okay. It was long enough ago. It was like, drop off a hard copy. Right on.
Yeah.
I can do that. But, but if I'm trying to email a document to somebody and they're like, hey, fucking catch up with the big boys. This is a Corel product.
Get your shit together.
Yeah.
Well, here we are.
Fun times. We have no Krista this time, as you can probably well have gauged by this
Either
time.
that or she just really quiet this week.
She's as we've talked about on the show, she's got a lot of other shit going on, and performances are one of them. But
she had a road gig.
Yeah, and then she's going to be on the next time around, and then she'll be gone because she'll be in Hawaii getting married.
God damn, she's busy.
And then she'll get back and be right before Thanksgiving, and things will be back to right. Because actually, if we found out, if anything, the last few years, that chick's around a lot during the holidays.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so you just got us assholes. But
thought about getting Ruben to sit in, but I didn't have that thought till like 4:30. It's like, man, there's no way I can rally that dude and get him down here in the next 90 minutes. So
Ruben is a man of leisure, and he will take his time.
Well, and I don't blame him.
No, he's like Gandalf.
You spring something on me last minute, you're going to be on the waiting end of it, unless it's something vital.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely as he means to.
That's it. Well, you actually, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you got a couple of assholes that are actually both fucking reasonably happy this time around.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had an old guy piss me off today a little bit, but I was still kind of still dealing with the joy of the professional side of my life, and
indeed, yeah, same. It hasn't been that bad. I feel bummed out. The only thing I'm bummed out about is that I'm just really not in the Halloween spirit as much as I expect myself to be these days.
Yeah, I feel like a lot more people are a lot more fired up about Halloween than this year, and certainly the year before. But the fucking thing falls on a Monday. You kind of lose me a little bit at that point.
Yeah. Unless, you got a vacation you're taking.
Well, that's what you're doing.
Damn right. That's for that reason alone. I'll get in the spirit then.
I had a couple of personal days remaining on the calendar. I wasn't about to burn it for fucking Halloween, so.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a worthy day for, going out of your way to get it off.
Nah. But nonetheless, though, so Brandon's on vacation officially.
Oh.
Me, I'm currently unemployed.
Unemployed and drinking Budweiser again.
That's it. That's as life should be.
I feel like that's how you celebrate losing a job.
Yeah, it's a matter of I still have the same job. It's just the ownership has changed. I had to sign a termination letter today because we're getting a new ownership in, and so basically the old ownership, I have to sign a deal going, yeah, I know, I'm not going to try to get unemployment on your ass. I can do whatever. So, but I did that this morning, and officially I don't start becoming an employee for the new folks until midnight. So theoretically, I had a run of about 15 hours today of being unemployed.
What'd you do with it?
I did what unemployed people do. I just sit around and drink all day, right? That's
yes. The only way to fly.
No, actually, I went back to work and got my shit done because that's still a thing,
Still got to bring home that bacon.
And proceeded to then, ran around, Buying some. Okay, well, here's the first update of the Mead Metal and MMA podcast.
Ooh, oh yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah. I got to pasteurize some honey tonight. Picked up 15 pounds, and we'll get that shit going, along with the liquid yeast from White Labs. We'll see if that's any good or not. A friend of ours that provided it was not too optimistic because apparently it sat out for a day, but it comes in cold packs. I don't know. We'll
find out.
If it doesn't start flocculating by this time tomorrow, I'm going to whip out the Lalvin D47 because I'd ordered in some of that shit. Came in the other day. We're ready to go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
We have reinforcements if we need it.
A batch shall begin.
It will, one way or the other. So that is your update for this time around. How are we going to work this? If the liquid yeast works, as I suspect it will, that's going to be a batch we bottle.
No doubt.
But right behind it, we're going to then start another batch of pretty much just straightforward D47, and we'll go ahead and run it through the fermentation cycles, both of them, and then get it into the barrel.
Yeah. I wonder what level that motherfucker is. I'm sure it's still doing good.
It's okay, yeah. But we go through bouts, and I mean, and it's there's some times it's like, man,
and now it's wintertime almost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting into like mead drinking weather.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we have absolutely got to get that shit started. So we're going to pasteurize honey tonight and then pitch yeast tomorrow, and then we'll be off and running.
All we do is work. Work so hard.
Once upon a time, it said that you shouldn't be pasteurizing your honey because you lose a lot of your flavor notes. Trust me, I have made fucking gallons and gallons and gallons of mead, and I've drank gallons and gallons of mead. I can't tell a difference between pasteurized and unpasteurized when it comes to a batch of mead.
Yeah.
The floral notes they talk about, they're not there. Now, the other side of it, too, is because we live out kind of in the middle of nowhere, it's a little hard to source our honey, so we're usually using straight-up clover honey.
Sure.
You're not getting a lot of florals on that anyway.
No, it's all about the sweet.
Now, if we go back to, that fucking Florida, that orange citrus honey, I'll probably go unpasteurized on that because that's going to have a lot of floral notes to it.
Yeah. Oh no, like when we got that shit in the 5-gallon bucket.
Yeah, that was alfalfa honey.
Yeah.
But it also still had its own notes to it that, shine through. Pasteurizing kind of pulls it down a little bit, but if you're using clover honey or wildflower honey, you're not going to notice the difference. You're just not. And if you think you can, okay, great. If it makes you feel better, yes, you're right. There you go. But you can't.
Right.
Because we've always said that mead derives its flavor from 3 things: yeast, honey, and water. Well, you don't get much better than the water we pull straight out of the municipal shit here, right? And,
that's right. Nothing but
between
the
that
finest.
and now the yeast will be high grade. The honey a little. There's no such thing as bad honey. It's just it doesn't have the floral to it that costs you fucking double.
Right.
I mean, in order to get a really good enough orange blossom honey to do a batch with, I'm talking like a full 18 pounds. Man, we're going to drop over $100 in honey,
Yeah, fuck, if not more.
Yeah. Well, probably not. Because you got to remember, it's dense as shit. So if we're talking 18 pounds, they'll send out probably 3 6-pounders, but each one of those 6-pounders is probably going to be 40, but yeah, it's going to be around 40, 45, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
And if you can't find somebody that's throwing some free shipping, then fucking there's that.
Yeah, you gotta be on the hunt for deals.
So I know what we're dealing with. Sometimes it is better to go ahead and note quantity rather than quality, especially if you're having trouble kind of keeping up with the demand. Once upon a time, we had more bottles than we know what to do with. Now we've got like 4 bottles in this house and about a half of a fucking 20-liter barrel.
It's a good problem to have, that barrel.
Yeah.
I still have my bottle of Troublemaker.
Hey, look at you hanging on to shit now.
I know. I'm actually doing it. I've fucking made it a point. I said I'm gonna hold on to this for a moment, which it might be, around the holiday time this year. But that's a 2+ year-old bottle of Troublemaker.
Yeah.
That I've owned. I've had it in my possession.
A bottle so good it brought on the pandemic.
That's also a big reason. Like, goddamn, this thing hasn't smelled the new era yet. It still has the old times in it. And I kind of want to just like let it mature and only break it out when it's like that fucking liquor in that game Disco Elysium we play. It's that bottle that I just got. I know the time will tell me when it's time to open it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're nearly at that time. Mead for this time of year is the right time of year.
Fucking ain't right.
But yeah, it's we haven't actually done a full-scale bottled batch in a very long time. Probably since that batch of Troublemaker.
Yeah. That was the last batch. Yeah, that's the last batch we made before shit got crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think we bottled that shit, January of 2020, something like that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're right there on the precipice, so it's time to get back to it again. It's time to fucking realize that we got to get back to normal again.
Got to get back to normal, not this new normal bullshit.
It is a little. How does it make you feel though? Whenever you hear like anybody like news or I don't know, or anybody that just seems like they might know what they're talking about, and they start mentioning pandemic or start mentioning COVID in general or anything else. My problem is, and as much as I believe in the fucking vaccines, I know that's the right way to go because we've always trusted science for everything else until this one vaccine became a political thing.
Yeah.
All the other ones are still okay though because there were no politics involved in those. But even so, if I hear somebody bring up, then they start talking about, oh, we might have a big wave of COVID coming in again this winter, I want to fucking choke them out.
No, yeah. I'm tired of all of it. I've been able to live my life without that shit even being in the back of my... I used to check those numbers every goddamn fucking day.
Oh, sure. I would go shopping once a fucking week to avoid humans because humans are the ones going to transmit it. Well, yeah. Now, not so much. You got to fucking live. And I've got the boosters. I can't even get another booster at the moment. So
right. You up to date?
For my medical issue, it's fine, but fucking almost every time it's like, when I'm watching like news trying to get ready for work, like, yeah, they're expecting like a big spike in COVID cases this winter. Like, what are you fucking out other fucking news trying to scare us with other shit? It's like, nah, it ain't taken. You know, it worked like a champ. COVID. Yeah, back 2 years ago.
And even the most stout fucking people that have, tried to follow the rule and fucking get shit under control, we're tired of it. It's over in my eyes. It's over for me.
Yeah. Yeah, well, because I think you reach points like, well, if this thing fucks me up and I don't see the end of it, well, at least I tried.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm like, I don't want to live with that shit lingering anymore. It was a year and a half. I mean, goddamn, I was working in a hotel for the almost first whole year of it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it didn't actually. We didn't actually kind of normalize some shit until earlier this year. Because you remember over the holidays last year, don't get together with family. Fuck off. I'm getting a little tired of people telling me what I should and shouldn't do behind my own goddamn closed doors. It's like, well, maybe I do want to hang out with more than 5 friends, huh? Maybe I do want to stand within 6 feet of fucking fools, huh? Maybe I want to,
not all of these motherfuckers,
not
but
all
some of them.
But yeah, it's a fatigued look that I have at the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because when we were talking about going to a casino and shit like that and started laying out some plans in March and April, like, man, I don't know if we're going to fucking be able to pull this off because of the cases of COVID. About May, this entire country went, fuck it.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? We got to go. It's time to turn the goddamn power back on.
Yeah. Well, and on top of that, then your original cases, with each mutation of it, then it seems like it gets more contagious, but it gets a lot less fucking mortality driven.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, God.
I mean, because it sounds heartless to say, it's like, over 1 million people fucking died of that shit in this country. When you start doing the math and go, well, hold on, that's not even 1%. Like, you're fucking cool with like 1% of our population fucking just disappearing? What kind of goddamn tyrant are you?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, fuck it. I don't want to play anymore.
Not trying to steal all the joy around here. But,
let's get back to talking about like pussy and guns and stuff.
Well, we were on the Mead update, but I think we're good.
Oh, yeah. No, that's actually a prime update.
Shit. You know what? It's a little early yet. You want to move on? We'll check in with LJ and see what he's got going on this time around.
I guess we should.
All right. Well, get the lowdown on what's going down with LJ.
And welcome to the metal portion of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. I don't know where I'm going with this kind of intro, but anyways, let's get into it. So, you're looking for some metal for your Halloween event, get together, or sit around. Well, that's cool, because we got you covered. First up on this list is Dr. Acula. These guys are as heavy and as brutal as the guy they're named after. Not Dr. Acula, Dracula, come on, be smart. Anyways, yeah, go ahead and check out their new album called Dr. Acula. Oh, self-titled. All right, that's convenient. Yeah, go check it out. It's pretty fucking brutal, and I think you'll like it. However, if bloodletting or spilling blood of the innocent or drinking blood or anything to do with blood is not up your alley because maybe you're a hemophobe or whatever, then maybe Defleshed with their album Grind Over Matter is up your forte. It's a lot heavier, a lot faster, and a lot grindier. So if that's what you're looking for, then you probably have poor taste in music, but I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Maybe you need heavier, and that is the cure. I am the doctor, not the Dr. Acula, but we're getting there. Now let's take a step away from organic matter to digital matter and talk about Fear Factory with their newest album, Decoded. Oh my god, I have a soft spot for talking about bands I like, and the fact that Fear Factory actually has another album out, gets me all giddy inside. Makes my blood actually turn to lava because it's so fucking cool. Yeah, I'm probably going to buy this one for sure, and you guys should probably check it out. It's Fear Factory, for better or for worse. And I'm also seeing that there are 6 re-releases from the band Toxic Reasons. Never heard of them until today. So if you're interested in learning about them, then you can catch up on them with 6 new releases. Bullets for You, God Bless America, In the House of God, Kill by Remote Control, No Peace in Our Time, and Within These Walls. They all sound like song titles more than they do album titles, but whatever. Yeah, Toxic Reasons. But let's step away from that and go back to the Halloween theme of things with the band Devil's Witches. And the album is called In All Her Forms. Oh man, this sounds like old school Sabbath to me, but like their first album. Along with some more doom metal sounding stuff. I think you'll like it. I definitely think it's Halloween worthy, and you guys should go check it out. That's all I've got right now. I don't know what the guys at the Mead Hall are going to discuss music-wise. It's kind of hard to predict. But I hope that they bring up some of these bands that I mentioned so I don't feel like I'm just rambling on about random obscure stuff. Anyways, take it back to the Mead Hall. Thank you guys very much. Have a happy Halloween. Stay safe or be dangerous. And rock the fuck on. See ya!
What's your fish wish?
I wish I could serve my family fish that comes out of a microwave crunchy.
Not soggy.
Crunchy. Wish no more. You can get that great Gordon's Crunch from your microwave with Gordon's Microwave Crunchy Fish. The secret's our special crisping tray.
Hey, not soggy.
They are crunchy.
They really like it.
There's no crunch like a Gordon's Crunch. If you've got a fish wish, trust the Gordon's Fish you have.
Crunch.
Man, that was so fucking gross. It went because we've heard it 3 times.
It's fucking worse each time.
Yeah, the first time it was just like, was that the sound of crunchy fish?
It sounded like bone.
Yeah, then afterwards like, God damn, that sounds disgusting. Then third's like, God, someone getting injured. That's what Connor's fucking ankle sounded like back then.
Silver heard years ago.
And Chris Wyman, again, they're all part of a special club. But we're not talking about that yet. That sound. Oh, goddamn.
And by the way, thanks to LJ for starting to really kind of catch on what goes on around here. Like, whatever they're doing, honest to fucking God, we don't know either. We don't know.
That's right. We used to plan this shit out.
Yeah, I used to have a sheet, and we'd try to stay by and everything else. And it's like, man, they really sound fucking tight and not in a good way. They sound like overly wound.
Precisely.
Stop doing that shit. Start just bullshitting, and things got a hell of a lot easier, actually.
But as always, here comes that curveball that we're going to be throwing at LJ. We are going to be talking about music. We're going to be talking about metal, most of it. But we're going to be talking about horror movies. Because it is the season.
Thought you were going to get into John Carpenter shit real quick.
And unlike Dr. Acula, went in and kind of, I wanted to really reflect on just the great rock and metal moments in horror. Because there's a handful, but they're really, really good.
Some through late 80s and into the early 90s, you say?
You know, if I had to pick a wheelhouse for this, it would just be the 80s.
Okay.
Because really in the 90s and going forward, it wasn't that there was like a cool metal song in a horror movie. The horror movie itself had a soundtrack that was nothing but metal.
Right.
Like the Bride of Chucky soundtrack, which is great. Great. It's got Typo on it, Static X, Cold Chamber, but none of the songs were really written about the movie, it said. That was kind of what I was thinking about, was horror movies that have songs that like worked in concert with the movie.
Okay.
I got a little bit of a list here. Few songs. First one I'm going to open up. You ever heard of a band called Laz Rocket?
No.
Okay. Back in the 80s, there was a band called Laz Rocket. Only reason, and you'll never hear this band name ever again, they put a song out on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 3 soundtrack.
Okay.
Called Leatherface. They were approached to do a song specifically for the movie. So the whole song is completely tied into that. Now, Slayer did a song called Dead Skin Mask. The only difference is fucking the franchise didn't ask them to. They just did it of their own accord.
Sounds like a very Dave Mustaine thing to do. Like, hey, Dave, we'd appreciate you not putting out any more music. Here's our next album. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Dave Mustaine, he is also a part of this.
Oh.
Have you ever seen the movie Shocker?
No.
Okay, it's a
You
Western.
got to realize I'm not like
That's
the
true.
biggest
You are
Western
not the.
cat.
You're yeah.
Or
that's true.
not Western. Biggest horror guy.
Yeah.
I'm all right with watching a few in the month of October, and then the closer to the end of the month we get, the more cool I am with like, fuck it, let's throw something stupid on. I'm all right with that. Man, but as far as like a somebody that just takes in horror movies, I'm not that cat. That's not my genre.
Well, just lean on me, man. I got you covered. But anyway, going back to Uncle Dave. In the movie Shocker, they covered Alice Cooper's No More Mr. Nice Guy for the soundtrack.
Okay.
Did a music video that was themed around the movie, which at the time was pretty fucking cool. This was 89, right at the peak of everything. Motorhead, Lemmy did a song called Hellraiser.
Yeah.
I'll let you wonder what movie it's in.
Yeah, sure.
But it's also, the cool thing about that is that song, Lemmy created it, but Ozzy has a version of it as well.
Right.
And his is Ozzy's version's on No Rest for the Wicked, I think.
Could be. Yeah, Lemmy's is Lemmy's version is far more Lemmy. I mean, if you want to hear a guy that sounds like he ought to be busting one into a fucking horror movie, go Lemmy every day over Ozzy.
Yeah, the Ozzy one is too soaring and like fucking epic, where Lemmy's is like fucking growly and
very gritty. Yeah,
belongs in Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, which that one kind.
Which I got to ask about that with that Hellraiser franchise. They did like 3 of them, right? 3 or 4.
No,
now,
they've done a lot.
It really, and it seemed like it just went away, just disappeared into the vapor, and then all of a sudden, like in the last 6 months or something like that, it's like, hey, there's going to be a new Hellraiser movie coming out.
Yeah. No, the thing with that is, so there was about 4 movies, the first 4, and the 4th one being where they ended up in space.
Okay.
But that's kind of like where the Hellraiser thing ended. This was 1995 when the 4th one came out. Then they started doing these direct-to-video sequels.
Oh, so you had to be a real fan.
But what it was is like, say this person had this movie already written. It was like a little bit of a suspense movie, thriller at the most, but no one really wanted to buy it. So you're just looking to buy it and plug Pinhead into it.
Yeah.
So this movie's already written. but now we're going to throw Pinhead in.
It's got Pinhead in it and some titties.
There's like 4 fucking movies where Pinhead shows up primarily in the middle and at the end, and that's it. Really does nothing. He's more like the Crypt Keeper rather than the fucking antagonist in the fucking movie.
So it's almost like Steve Vai's appearance on that one Polyphia track.
Yeah. Then Doug Bradley, the guy who played Pinhead, just fucking got too old, didn't want to do it anymore.
Sure.
So they moved on, got a guy, tanked, got another guy, tanked. Now this remake, they got a lady. And everybody losing their mind on that. Like, oh, man, Pinhead ain't Lady the Man. Fuck that, man. That Clive Barker fucking like, I'm cool with it. So shut the fuck up. I'm cool with the woman Pinhead because it's all really just about being a creepy, oddly sexual, bondage, fucking come on down to hell, let's have a good time type of cat.
Yeah, because like a pleasure pain thing, right? Because I mean that's essentially
what it was.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I don't think gender matters a whole lot when you're dealing with fucking horror villains. I don't think it matters.
Now, you turn Freddy Krueger into a woman, I got problems. Big problems. Because you also better keep this woman as a child murderer and rapist.
Yeah.
Keep the backstory.
Hey. There's some uncomfortable paths we could take from that, but yeah, we'll leave Freddy Krueger alone.
As it should be. Which, by the way, number 1 on my list of horror movies and their songs, fucking Dream Warriors, Dawkins.
Huh.
It is the overall the best. The honorable mention to Pet Sematary by the Ramones, but
right. Yeah.
That fucking music video is amazing.
I hate the fucking band, but what about Maximum Overdrive? Would you consider that a horror movie or just more of a thriller suspense?
You know, okay, I watched that movie as a kid and it scared me.
Yeah.
Just the idea of machines fucking just coming alive and murdering us.
Sure.
That's terrifying. But Emilio Estevez in it kind of throws me off a little bit. Not that it's bad. That and the whole fucking goddamn soundtrack done by AC/DC.
Right. That's
the whole thing.
That was the one when I thought of when you first started bringing this up about, with movies that kind of made the music and they kind of became inseparable.
Yeah.
That's why I don't watch Maximum Overdrive. I don't give a shit. I have that much of a dislike of AC/DC.
Yeah.
And it's mainly because of their fans. So before you go to type a comment on here.
Did this.
Yeah, you're the problem, actually. It's not really, it's
not me, it's you.
I mean, when Malcolm passed away, I will say this. I always give credit where credit is fucking due, but I will also bust your balls if you got it coming to you. But so you get Malcolm, and roundly recognized as probably one of the best rhythm guitar players in metal. The people just credited like, man, this guy or Hetfield, yeah, that's the apex of your shit right there on rhythm guitar players within, bands that are 4 or 5 piece or whatever the case might be. My problem actually lies with Angus because that dude, and I know this is fucking, I can already tell your blood pressure is getting up, some of you. Angus has a knack for basically finding the same lead, same riff within the same chord over and over and over again. I know what's in my bank account, and I know what's probably in his bank account. I don't measure things that way, but I will say that the guy is a little simplistic when it comes to his fucking good. When it comes to his leads and a lot of what he does within AC/DC.
I really have nothing to add to that.
It really is. It's not even a Ben Johnson or Brad Johnson versus fucking Bon Scott thing. It's not with me. People are like, well, yeah, you like Bon Scott better. I don't. You know what? I don't care. The rhythm guitar is fucking good. My problem always is with Angus.
Yeah. Well,
and by the way, if you're in your 70s, stop dressing like a goddamn school child, huh? You look fucking creepy as fuck now.
It's an odd look. I would put Angus on the same list as I would put like Tom Morello.
Wow. Okay. See, I got a little bit of respect for Tom Morello. A little bit.
A motherfucker that put a kill switch on his guitar And that's how he built a career.
Right.
No, man. Him and the Edge. They just need to go fucking make little shit babies. And they can fucking learn to install kill switches in their guitars or fucking a pedal board where you just got to hit one note. It sounds like you're playing a whole song.
Shit. Well, what else you got on your list? Because I'm actually kind of shocked we haven't had a Rob Zombie encounter here yet.
Well, the thing is, Rob Zombie is pretty much just he is horror.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, we need a soundtrack. Gotcha.
Like, you want to use my old shit, or do you want me to take 5 minutes and make a new one? The House of 1,000 Corpses song from the movie of the same name is a pretty damn good one. But as far as just like anything from fucking Hellbilly Deluxe,
Yeah.
it's in there in White Zombie as well. I mean, there's a lot of fucking horror imagery in that. But Hellbilly Deluxe, which I got to go back and listen to that album top to bottom, it could be on the list for me.
Yeah. That is a real on the nose metal record that's got all the imagery you're going to want for fucking Halloween.
Yeah, and getting the fuck out of the gate with a solo record, your first one, and it's a banger.
Yeah.
One that I don't think he's ever matched.
Well, and that's the thing, too. And then it's like, man, we're going to get – just imagine where we're going to see Rob Zombie in about another 15 years. And, yeah, actually we do. And his ass is in Hollywood.
And kids, guess what? If you do go to see Rob Zombie live, don't have your hopes up that's going to sound just like the album either. It's pretty he puts a lot of energy out there. The motherfucker is a performer.
I wanted to catch a live show. It's still on my bucket list to catch Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen him live. But, man, I've got to temper my expectations on that. I have to.
Sure.
I have to. Last show we went to earlier this year, Deftones. Man, I had my expectations through the fucking roof, and they were good. They didn't quite meet it.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah, they just didn't come through for me on that one. Whereas on the flip side of that, when we saw Tool back, down in San Antonio, fucking I went in with very high expectations, and those motherfuckers just they
exceeded.
They blew my goddamn brains through my ears.
I think a lot of it also has to do with, man, like this is a concert, not Tool, Deftones, that we were on for before the pandemic.
Yeah.
And then it was a carrot dangled in front of our fucking mouths for years.
For years, yeah. Three times. The third time was the charm.
I'd have rather have been Poppy than that other band.
Yeah.
I can't even remember their fucking name.
Wow.
Doja Cat.
No. I know the Ruben wouldn't remember because that guy fucking he does what you should do at a concert. He is there for all of it.
Yeah.
I go in
pops
going,
a 20.
Who are these assholes?
Yeah. I mean, I listened to a song or two there. So I was like, whatever. All right. Ruben loves everything, though. Ruben's a lover of all things music.
Do you also then throw on La Enfant Sauvage?
Oh, Infant Sausage? I wouldn't say my listening of Gojira has gone up, but my appreciation has. I've had those motherfuckers.
That's a great way to put it.
Man, if Gojira's on a bill, I know I'm going to fucking rock the fuck out.
Oh, yeah.
Now, am I going to keep up with their new shit? Oh, I'll check it out. But, I mean, I'm not being like, man, let's go back and listen to that song.
The fucking drummer of theirs might be the best goddamn drummer in metal.
Yeah, fucking A.
Shockingly great.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, it seems like Gojira has been scaling shit back as far as technicality and all that. Which I guess is fine. I mean, as long as you have that back catalog of shit, you still reference and rip through live.
Man.
And
those guys were impressive.
And the epilepsy-inducing fucking light show. Man.
Yeah, you if you have any issues with video games, like the warning that comes on, it's like, man, this game may cause epilepsy in some people. So if you've ever felt like you were on the verge of that from a video game, don't go to a Gojira show.
Or at least turn around.
Because it's going to happen. I don't have any issues with that shit. I felt like I was on the verge of something. I don't know.
Want to get to MMA?
Let's do, because we had UFC 280 last weekend.
We certainly did.
And I I said, yeah, let's buy this and let's do it, even though it was at fucking noon.
We did it right. We watched it live.
Yes, we did.
We did it.
Yep. Paid every dime for it, everything. We did. We crossed all the I's, dotted all the T's.
Damn, yeah, both in cash and in liver strength.
And, started that shit off. Well, I started that shit off at the card kicked off at 8 a.m. because it was over in Abu Dhabi. I turned that shit on about 9:30.
I was up about 10:30.
Yeah. And,
poker night the night previous.
Right. Yeah, man, we really, we put a fucking week into that weekend last week.
Yeah. Well, Jack's place and our place. That's how it goes.
But, man, it looked like the fucking card looked like it was stacked. I thought, this is one we can't miss. Well, it starts off with fucking Caitlin Chukagian on there. And she lost, which is fine. I mean,
yeah.
I don't actively root against her. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah, like whether she wins or loses does not interest me.
No.
So it's nothing against her at all. She just don't care.
It's that screaming shit when she's throwing every strike.
Oos!
Not as bad as Holly Holm, but it's close, right?
Yeah. Holly Holm is the ultimate.
But so it starts off with that, fine. Well, then you get Beneil Dariush up after that, and he gets the fucking win, shellacks some fucking Ruski.
And fucking in proper form at that.
Yeah, and immediately then now he's got a history. His parents were some odd sect of Christians, an ancient sect of Christians that live in Iran, and they fled Iran years ago, and shit brought him to this country. He's born in the USA and everything else, but their faith is like a real important thing. This dude's in Abu Dhabi. And immediately starts up the post-fight interview the way he does all of them, which I thought, well, is he gonna kind of massage this a little bit, be a little different than usual? Nope, there he is. He's like, hey, before I answer anything, I just want to say all things are possible through Jesus Christ and stuff. And it's like a silent arena. It's silent. Yeah, and then Daniel Cormier tries to get him back. He's like, all right, let's try to save this guy a little bit. Let's get him back on track. Talks about it. They kind of walk through the fight and everything else, but he returns. He bookends the whole fucking thing with the same Christian stuff again,
and the Iranian protests going on.
Yeah,
drop a little light on that. Which I don't necessarily have a problem with.
Yeah, but still, this guy's like a bit of a lightning rod to bring to Abu Dhabi, right?
God damn, and just like no one fucking thinking before they're speaking.
Bit of an odd look, right?
It's a weird one. I mean, it's not going to do him any disservice. I don't think he probably won't be invited back to Abu Dhabi.
I'd be willing to bet there are some sheiks over there like we'd have preferred if you don't bring that guy back again.
Which and by the way, I thought that fight was fight of the night.
Probably not wrong.
Either that or maybe what came after.
The one after that, I would almost submit, except that they fucking robbed the guy. But that's Peter Yan against Sean O'Malley. How much of an asshole is Sean O'Malley? During these weird fucking times, I was rooting for a fucking Russian.
Yeah. And he said something afterwards, because clearly the man won by split decision. He's like, I don't know why everybody's bitching. Not what my record says. It's like, oh, so now we're acknowledging your record. Are we acknowledging that loss that you won't acknowledge?
Right.
Can we do that? Are we agreeing you lost? Because if that, great, we can move on. And, of course, he's fucking ranked number 1 now. It just don't sit well. It don't sit well, man. Feels like a work.
I think that he's going to be very exposed in his next fight out because he's going to have to fight fucking Aljamain.
Aljamain's been knocked fuck out before.
Yeah, but
in spectacular fashion.
Aljamain's entry is getting a lot better on his takedowns.
Yeah,
he's a much more concise wrestler for the sport of MMA.
Yeah, we better be careful, man. Those judges better really enjoy takedowns and control time.
Well, that is
these
true
judges in Abu Dhabi did not. One of them did.
Yeah, that was a straight up robbery. I mean, just to fucking even on the blush look at like, well, what did they look like after? Peter Yan had a vagina in his eyebrow, but
that he got late.
Yeah,
he got that late.
But Sean O'Malley looked like he'd had the piss beaten out of him, the warm piss for about 15 solid minutes.
Yeah,
and and he can say all the shit he wants to. Fucking look at that guy when the decision is announced. He looked as shocked as anybody in the house.
Yeah.
But, oh well. And then we said Aljamain because Aljamain beat TJ Dillashaw, who, frankly, I went into that rooting for TJ. I will never root for that guy again.
No, that book is
Again.
closed. Man, could you imagine if you had money on TJ?
Yeah, and and he goes out knowing that his shoulder's fucked and he's going to have to get surgery done. And he said it popped out because it was a dislocated shoulder, his left shoulder. And he said it popped out easily at least 20 times during fucking training camp. It's like, well, dude, you're not fucking capable of fighting. He's like, yeah, I got to apologize, to Dana White, and I got to apologize to the division because I didn't want to hold it up for another year.
The motherfucker could have moved on if you had just
That's
said
exactly it. Then he decided,
we're not going to wait on you.
He's like, well, fuck everybody. I need to get that paycheck right now. And as a result, I mean,
said it first popped out in April.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's known about this shit for 6 fucking months.
Yeah.
And now he's going to be on the shelf over a year because he's going to have to get that surgically repaired. Fuck, that's if he's ever released really to fight again. But
Man.
And then had the asshole Khabib 2.0 come in and beat Charles Oliveira. Okay, that's fine. I don't think he'll be there a long time. I don't think he's not going to be a Khabib type and sit at the top forever.
Yeah.
But why is everybody kissing Khabib's ass? Doesn't that guy have his own fucking promotion, Eagle FC? Or did that go tits up when the Russians decided they're going to start killing Ukrainian civilians and shit?
Hey now.
No, that's accurate.
I'm he ain't lying. Shit. All I know is that'll be the last Abu Dhabi card I wake up early to watch. All the other ones, I'm just gonna ignore my fucking phone. Man. I'll catch it at 5.
It should have been a fucking great day, and it turned out it wasn't because they fucking robbed Peter Yan.
Yeah.
I mean, Oliveira losing was kind of a big, punch in the guts to me.
Especially by submission.
Yeah. But fucking that TJ Dillashaw thing, man, it makes me angry. It doesn't make me happy in any way, shape, or form. It makes me want to say, well, fucking if the UFC isn't going to fucking sanction this guy in some way, shape, or form for fucking everybody, I might be a little less of a fan of the sport. And when you can do something like that, that's saying something.
Yeah, that's it. Are they just worried about, we weren't worried looking at his shoulder, just worried about what was in his piss?
Yeah, apparently, right? And he and his entire team, nobody said shit. And, Bang Ludwig was over there like, don't you guys say nothing to nobody.
I'll give you one of these.
And, for that payday. For that payday that I fucking hope he enjoys it because he's not going to have another one for a very long time.
No.
And when he comes back, do you think Dana White's going to give him any kind of fucking reasonable fight coming back, like, straight up, even for like an eliminator? No, I think he comes back, he's going to have to fucking prove his worth again.
Well, now his complete worth is gone.
Yeah. No, he has to rebuild every bit of fucking of esteem that he had built up.
He had that one fight.
Do you need a beer, by the way?
Always. He had the one fight when he came back, and then right after that, dude fighting for a title. It's just like when Dana got burned by Kamzat, and that whole fucking card needed to be retooled, and everybody pretty much got fucked except Nate Diaz. It was the best result for Nate Diaz, everything that happened that day.
Yeah, I'd say that's right. Kevin Holland, thankfully, he retired, but he's not going to retire now, which is good because that.
Oh, he's fighting Wonder Boy.
Yeah. That one, that's more his style. Wonder Boy ain't going to fucking take you down.
No. But he is going to walk you back a bit and kick you.
Well, we get to see how Kung Fu stands up against karate.
Ooh, goddamn.
The olden times thing, right?
Chuck Norris and Jackie Chan.
So, we'll get that one. That one's not before the end of the year, right?
Is that
282?
282, which that motherfucker's shaping up. One might even say, John Jones said he's targeting Cormier for 282.
Well, yeah.
Now,
but
if that's on the card, that could be the only fight.
Yeah.
I'd pay 75.
Cormier ain't coming out. That dude is.
Oh, I mean Jones and Stipe.
Yeah.
My bad.
That'd be all right. Because DC already said that, no, that boat has sailed. He's retired. He ain't going to come back out of retirement as a broadcaster, making piles of money, doing all his shit.
I enjoy being fat.
Coming back and having to cut down to 265 because you can look at that motherfucker. It's going to take you half a day to walk around him. And to come out and get in shape to fight fucking John Jones, who's been doing nothing but fucking turning into a muscle hamster.
God, I hope
Hard
so.
Hard pass.
The next pay-per-view is 281, which is headlined by Israel and fucking Pereira and fucking Esparza and Willie Zhang.
Yeah.
Let me see them pull 282 here.
Man, you know what might shock me more than anything else out of, the last quarter of the year is if Carlos Esparza actually beat fucking Zhang Weili.
That would be amazing.
That'd be shocking.
Yeah.
Because I don't see how that comes up. I mean, man, if I've got $1,000 in my hand, I'm walking down down Las Vegas Boulevard, my ass is walking right into a sports book and throwing $1,000 on Weili Zhang.
Yeah. Yeah. Saturday, December 3rd is and they're fucking headlining Fight Night.
All right.
But the 282, that's got like Patty Pimblett on the card. The kid from, born in Clovis, not from Clovis. He'll be fighting on the undercard on that.
Okay.
But it's primarily the Prochazka Glover rematch. That's a weird one to call a rematch on.
It is, especially, and I get it because they said, because Glover was able to take that guy so deep into that fight. And Prochazka usually just fucking dusts fools right off the bat.
Right. Gustafson's on the card. Wow, I thought that motherfucker might have been done.
Yeah. I noticed Jim is on suspension for any fights taking place in Sweden right now.
Oh, yeah. It's because of that Kamzat, bro.
Well, actually it's not. It's not Gus. It's not Kamzat. It's the fucking ownership and management of that gym. They've been suspended by the unifying authority there in Sweden, and have been suspended for who knows how long, like 60 or 90 days. I want to say some shit like that for threats coming from the ownership and the management of that gym for fucking threats.
Oh my God.
Like, man, I mean, fighters have to do that. Fighters, that's the only way you're going to make money. Conor McGregor proved that's how you make money in the sport is you fucking talk a whole bunch of shit and you build it up and people go, God damn, I got to watch this. And you become a pay-per-view draw. You become the UFC's darling and you're going to fucking be driving around in goddamn vehicles like Conor is, right?
Right.
That's what everybody wants. Well, that's fine. But if you're like an ownership or management or whatever, that's not your task.
What if you're an agent?
I know where you're at on that one, and that guy can go fuck himself too. Even though he is Justin Gaethje's manager, that Abdelaziz.
Yeah, dickhead, fuckhead disease.
He, I don't know how that guy has got. At one time, his entire stable, I think it was like 3 pay-per-views in a row. There was a fucking championship fight for one of his fighters.
Yeah.
It's if you're an Abdelaziz guy, I'm
Well, fucking, if you are, really look within your soul and be like, why am I the fan of a sports agent? Why do I like this guy?
And I don't know,
because you're a cunt.
And I don't know why they give him that much that much opportunity to platform what he thinks either.
Fucking people come back at him and call him a piece of shit.
Well, they're not wrong.
It instigates response.
Yeah. Oh, well, shit, man. Where are we at on time? We still doing all right, or do we have time to move into some more MMA stuff? Or
if you got anything on your mind? Mine's kind of tapped.
Yeah. I will say that, so John Jones comes out at heavyweight. I don't see that he changes his style. I think he's just a bigger, fucking more dangerous version of what he was at 205.
He's going to be slower.
It has to be.
He's going to be slower.
Bulk is going to slow you down.
I don't know, man. I mean, that motherfucker has been out of the game.
He didn't look all that great his last couple of times out.
Exactly. But it's still, you got to give, and John Jones will disappoint you. Primarily not in the octagon. Outside of his life,
outside,
he will.
Yeah.
But outside of that whole debacle going on at the Hall of Fame thing,
yeah,
which that seemed to be resolved, I think.
Yeah. Because he fought Santos and won, and I have no arguments there. Fought Reyes and won. A lot of people think he lost that fight. Those are his last 2.
The last 2, there were people like, man, that shit.
And he's going to feel some power from Stipe that he has not felt in his life.
I kind of wish the dude had fought Jan Blachowicz because he might have got. I mean, Jan, powerful motherfucker.
Yeah, John had already moved up to to heavyweight though. Now already put 205 behind him. 205 now is just nothing but a shit show.
I had to think for a second. I was like, yeah, of course, Yuri Prohaska's champ. But I'm hoping that motherfucker brings it back because I like him. I do like him.
His weird, crazy, unhinged violence is all right by me. But so, I mean, I think it really is demonstrative of how thin that fucking 205 division is when the best thing they can do is run it back when he clearly beat Glover. I mean, Glover held up well, sure.
But he got the finish.
For an old man almost my age, but, he held up well for a while, but why would you immediately just run that one right back? It's because 205 has got to suck shit right now, right?
Yeah. I'm even trying to think of who would have fought Yuri instead, and I'm getting a lot of people when I think, I'm like, but they lost their last fight. Why would they get to do it?
Yeah.
And the guy that beat him ain't ready.
Right. Yeah, because... Sure, Jan Blachowicz is one to certainly say, well, maybe that guy. No, because he lost his last time.
Yeah.
He lost that strap to Glover. I don't think he's fought since, right?
No. That this will be, yeah.
205 might be thinner than fucking heavyweight, which is really saying something.
John Jones left. All of a sudden, that fucking place is nothing.
Yeah. That's a hard one. 205 used to be basically one of the best in the entire sport, and now, woof, it's it kind of trails 125, I think, a little bit.
I mean, we do live in a world now where a former UFC fighter is about to box a former NFL running back.
Which one's this
tomorrow?
one?
Uriah Hall and Le'Veon Bell.
Ugh.
And that ain't even the main event.
I hate to sound like a dummy here. I didn't realize that Uriah Hall's not with the promotion anymore.
He's not. He was. I don't want to say he was cut, but I don't think he got a contract.
So he might have just fought through his contract, and the UFC said good enough.
Yeah, because that guy would not be boxing if.
Yeah. No, they did that one time, and they did it for fucking Mayweather McGregor.
Yeah, all because fucking billions of dollars were on the line for that. And everybody getting a little taste.
Uriah Hall ain't going to be a part of billions of dollar boxing fight card.
And, fuck it. While it's not, there's really not a whole lot more MMA to talk about. But I will close with, I wanted your opinion on this. Anderson Silva and that cocksucker from the internet fighting tomorrow night. Jake Paul.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
That's going on tomorrow?
That's going on tomorrow.
I like Anderson Silva in that one. The problem I have is I am swayed by a lot of people I do like in MMA, and a lot of those same people said, oh, yeah, fucking Anderson Silva all day. Like, yeah, but they also said that shit that Connor's got a real shot against Mayweather, and he did not.
Yeah. Funny, but I think I was saying that too. But I think I was lying to myself. Like, come on, man. Make it worth it because this guy's fucking going against the elite here.
Yeah.
0-1. First fucking pro boxing fight, and he's getting the best to ever do it.
Yeah.
Which still feels weird to say, but it's not a lie.
Yeah. Anderson's striking skills, hey, if he doesn't have to worry about fucking defending a takedown or any of that shit, I like him a lot better than any of the Paul brothers. And and I always get those two assholes confused because they're the same asshole.
Logan Paul's the one that wrestles.
Yeah,
WWE.
For WWE. Right? Yeah.
Jake Paul's the
Jake's the
shittier
He's
one?
the mouthier one, right? Yeah.
If this was Oasis, he'd be Liam.
Ugh. Oh, goddamn. Oh, man. Fucking knife through the heart.
Yeah, no, my bad.
Oh, shit.
Noel's the good one, right?
None of them. Neither one of the Gallagher brothers are good, but one of them's worse than the other one. So
I got to see real quick. I know Anderson Silva in one of his pro boxing matches, actually. Let's see, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Yeah.
Forgot about that one. It was a fucking split decision, but still.
Yeah.
That fight is basically right up there with the Jake Paul fight. Of course, he did knock out Tito Ortiz. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Too bad they didn't fight in the UFC as well. I'd be like, motherfucker, I knocked you out in the UFC and boxing.
I think Jake Paul is depending on just youth and vigor and vitality. But the problem is Anderson Silva, when it comes to the striking game, is the best to ever fucking do it. Not in boxing per se, striking in general. People in the UFC, he changed the UFC in general in how kicks are thrown.
Right.
I mean, you look back at some of the goofball shit you'd get before Anderson Silva hit the promotion, and you wouldn't see a lot of kicks, and if you did, they were kind of stupid.
Yeah.
This guy really refined it by bringing his Taekwondo background in. World champion at that.
Right. I'm hoping for something cool to happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Will I be watching? It depends.
Yeah.
Depends on how drunk and high I am.
Pretty doubtful, I would say, but we'll see. Crazier things have happened, and man, if you're if you're Uriah Hall, you got to assume it's like, why are they fucking me again? Put him up on the same night as his fight.
Oh no, he's on the undercard. That fight
shit.
with him and Le'Veon Bell's on the same card.
I thought it was going to head to head. I thought,
he getting paid today.
That's a bad day. All right. Well, shit, man. You want to fucking wrap it up? I know it's probably a little early. The only thing after this,
we're an hour in.
Oh, all I'd have would be something disturbing, shit like that. So we'll save that for another day.
We got plenty.
Let's see. Pick time. I'm actually back to drinking Budweiser again because I did my Labor Day to nearly Halloween fucking run, and I'm back on the beach.
Job well done. I'm drinking Tall Boys as well out of my Viridian Experts Tall Boy Koozie.
Hey, look at you being all fancy.
Free from Albuquerque.
Mine from the spanking joint out in Vegas.
That's right. If they'd had a Tall Boy version, I'd have got that one instead.
I do think it's great when I ever tell people, like, Brandon's wanting to go out to Vegas. Maybe he's wanting to go to the Hofbrau house, and everybody like raises an eyebrow, like for the the swats for shots
for the Spätzle and the fucking blood blister inducing ass shots.
Sounds like a weekend.
And the beer, of course. Beer is third.
Let's see, and then fight card tomorrow, but I don't even really know who's on it. I looked at it. I recognize
Calvin Cater and someone else.
I recognize like the names on the fucking main event. That's about it.
Yeah.
But that's the way it usually goes after they get back from Fight Island with a pay-per-view. So, shit, I don't know. Next time, we'll be back in 2 weeks. I think
2 weeks.
We will not have Krista with us because she'll be getting hitched and everything else. But
shotgun win?
With the 2 weeks after that, she'll be back and probably around with us more often than not. So, moving forward.
My belly's full from turkey meat.
Oh, you said turkey. I was like, what the fuck did you say? Oh, turkey. All right. Anyway.
Said something dirty about turkey.
Anyway, that's it for LJ and Brandon, Kevin, and the fucking rest of the
don't forget the dog.
Crazy-ass people for whatever this is. Is this what? The Mead MMA?
Mead MMA and Metal Podcast.
Metal and other M's. Yeah, all right. Fuck it. That's it.